She looked at me the way people do when they think they're being honest for the first time. Not brave, not guilty, relieved. I have a date tonight. The words landed softly, almost polite. We were standing in the kitchen. The clock hummed. The kettle screamed and died. Her phone lit up on the counter, face down, vibrating like a nervous animal. I didn't ask with who. I didn't blink. I smiled. So do I. Something flickered across her face. Confusion, then amusement. She laughed, the sound thin, practiced. She turned away to grab her coat. She didn't see what changed in me, but the room did. The air did. I did, because in that moment, every loose thread finally lined up. Every late night, every sudden silence, every time she touched her phone like it might burn her. The game didn't start then. It ended, and she was the last one to know. I stood alone after she left, listening to the door lock itself behind her. A clean sound, final. I replayed the sentence again and again, not for pain, but for precision. A date tonight. Not I'm seeing someone. Not we need to talk. Tonight. Planned, scheduled, chosen. My reflection in the dark. Window looked calm, detached, like a man who had already done the math and found the answer intolerable but usable. I remembered the first crack. Months ago, her laughter changing pitch when certain names came up. The way she showered immediately after coming home late, like she needed to rinse something off that wasn't sweat. I remembered the second crack. The lies that weren't lies, just omissions wrapped in kindness. I remembered the third. The night she fell asleep with her phone unlocked. A message preview lighting the room. Can't wait to finally have you to myself. I hadn't touched the phone. Not then. I wanted the full picture. I wanted it clean. Denial isn't loud. It's quiet. It tells you to wait, to be patient, to trust the version of someone you already lost. I stopped listening. I didn't rush. That was the difference between me and her. I ordered copies of phone records under the account we shared. Printed them at work. Highlighted patterns with the steady hand of someone labeling evidence, not emotions. I watched her without watching. Reflected windows, timing her silences, counting how often she checked the door before answering messages. I learned his name without searching. It slipped out of her once casually like a typo. I learned where they met, a place she claimed she hated. Funny how people reinvent themselves for convenience. I learned how long it had been happening. Long enough that it wasn't a mistake. Long enough that I was an obstacle. The hardest part wasn't anger. It was admiration. The sheer discipline it takes to lie every day and still come home pretending. To be tired instead of satisfied. At night, next to her sleeping body, I planned. Not revenge, resolution. Truth, delivered properly, is sharper than cruelty. I scheduled my date, too. The confirmation email arrived at 9:17 a.m., a sterile subject line. Attachment included. I opened it once. Read it slowly, closed it. No surprise, just confirmation. There's a specific kind of calm that comes when suspicion dies and certainty takes its place. Questions evaporate. What remains is choice. I printed one copy, folded it neatly, slid it into my jacket pocket. That evening, she dressed carefully. Too carefully. She wore the red dress she claimed made her feel exposed. She kissed my cheek with affection that arrived late and left early. I'll be back late, she said. I know. That gave her pause. A second too long. I smiled again. So will I. She came home just after midnight. I was sitting at the table. Lights off, one lamp on behind me, turning me into a silhouette. She froze in the doorway, keys still in her hand. You didn't go out? She asked. I did. I slid the paper across the table. She didn't touch it at first. She stared at me instead, searching for cracks. For volume, for weakness. What is this? She whispered. Read it. Her hands shook as she unfolded it. The color drained from her face line by line. She sat down without meaning to. This isn't... She stopped. Because lies need momentum, and she had none left. I leaned back. You said you had a date. I said I did too. Her mouth opened, closed. Tears welled up, late to their own emergency. You planned this, she said. Yes. How long have you known? Longer than you think. The room felt smaller. Not because of tension, because truth takes up space. I didn't mean to hurt you, she said. That was the most offensive lie of the night. I stood, walked to the door. Picked up my coat. "Where are you going?" she asked, panic finally finding its voice. "On my date." "With who?" I looked at her then. Really looked. Reality. I didn't slam the door. I left it open. Walking away felt less like victory and more like alignment. Like finally stepping into the version of myself that had been waiting quietly. While I negotiated with hope, betrayal doesn't destroy you. It reveals the parts of you that were willing to disappear for comfort. I wasn't disappearing anymore. I blocked her number before I reached the end of the street. Deleted years with 3 taps. Not out of anger. Out of hygiene. Some things don't deserve memorials. Later, alone, I sat in a bar I'd never been to and ordered a drink I didn't finish. I watched couples lie to each other in real time, smiling like it was harmless. I felt nothing. Not relief. Not grief. Control. She thought the night was about freedom. She was right. Just not hers.